getting tattooed. Not once, but twice. So stick around because it's going to be a pretty crazy story. Or you can just go to the timestamps right there. This is a tale spanning across a continent. This is a tale spanning across an entire continent. It's about a tattoo I would have never gotten if the stars weren't aligned for me on this one particular day. It's about an adventurous quest, facing various challenges and undergoing personal growth and transformation. This is a story of blood, sweat, and tears, so buckle up your seatbelts because you are in for a moderately wild ride. Hi, I'm Billy, and I'm traveling with my cousin Peaches. That's Peaches. Say hi.
Hi.
Where are we going?
We're going to India!
And we came to India for one thing, Holi.
The Festival of Colors is an explosion of joy and unity in India. Anticipation and pigments fill the air as Delhi is transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors and laughter. The energy is infectious, so we did the one thing one does at a time like this. We partied our asses off.
Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love.
It was exhausting. A lot of people talk about culture shock, but I've never really experienced it until now. I mean, I've been to Asia tons of times. Look at my eyes. But India, Delhi, was different. The type of poverty you see there sometimes really feels inescapable. It is a shock on all of your senses. Sights, sounds, smells. So we got the fuck out. We went to our Indians vacation and that's how we got to Goa. And Goa was magical. The beach is your backyard. The seafood is immaculate. And the cows are everywhere. I take my first step on the beach and it is heavenly. My mind goes blank. The sounds of trees, fish, wildlife, the ocean enter my pores and I experience bliss. And my first thought is, I want to be a basic bitch and get a tattoo.
Basic bitch?
The pendulum of the waves, the grains of sand enveloping my feet, the way the sun hits the ocean as it finishes its crawl beyond the horizon. I need to remember this moment. I need this brief period of time stamped on my body. But then I think of India and the sanitation guidelines and everything that could go wrong. And I shove it into the tiny corner of my responsibility and the engines are off. As luck would have it, where we are staying is a 30-second walk to a tattoo shop. And I walk in and I'm like, hey, bitch, and I walk in and I'm like, hey, I want a tattoo. Hi, I'm curious about getting a tattoo. Do I need to make an appointment or? Okay. He says, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. He says, you got any ideas? I say, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? But that didn't really work, so I just went on Pinterest to get some geometric dot work type shit, and boom, it's off to the races. I've never had a dot work tattoo. It's never really been my thing. But this year's goal is all about trying new stuff, so we're getting one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Goa. It's the middle of the day and it's very hot, so we're gonna do something to escape the heat. Let me show you what we're doing. We're getting tattooed. It's right here. Let me show you.
So what I do is this part and this part also. So this should be cut, like not this part, only this, yeah.
Okay. It took about 2.5 hours and bam, it's there. Easy peasy, I'm a Chinesey. healed perfectly and everything was clean. But you may be wondering, this is what this video is all about? Well, get your hands clamped and ready to hold your horses, because my dear equestrian friend, this is not it. This is just the teaser, the appetizer. It's the fully loaded baked potato skins, but it's not the steak. You see, what happens next is really the beginning of this continental hero's journey, because after this, Peachez and I go get lunch. You know, I would like some ketchup, but I don't know if they have ketchup here. But it is here, where as I am digging into my plate of masala eggs, that I stumble into a conversation with a stranger sitting next to my table.
It was 46 degrees. No, 47.
His name is Jerry. He's a musician. He's a Canadian, but that's okay. Jerry is old, like Santa Claus old, but he's covered in tattoos and they're awesome. Oh shit.
There you go.
That's so sick. Awesome, yeah.
Sick old man.
And Jerry and I start talking about tattoos. He's like, I like your work. I'm like, thank you, I like yours. And he says to me, all this work was done by one guy. I say, well, bust my beaver, that's amazing. I need your connect. What's his Instagram? And he says, he doesn't have one. And I'm like, okay, Twitter, Snapchat. And he tells me you can only find him on Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I haven't hit menopause yet. So he gives me his info, which is nothing more than a name. Mr. Tongue.
Who's that Pokemon?
The problem is there are a lot of tongues in Thailand. But finally, I find a Google business listing and I message him there. And no response. Granted, it's only been an hour, but I start going crazy. I gotta get tattooed by this guy because this moment is
Special.
I don't often talk to people. But for some reason, I was feeling gregarious this day and the universe responded. This tattoo artist I would have never discovered on my own. I don't believe in signs or stars, but gosh darn, this feels like a sign from the stars. So the only thing I can do is wait. And the next day, I get a response and we book our tickets to Thailand. And then we go to Thailand and my appointment is scheduled for the next day. I can't sleep. I'm trying, but it's not working. Finally, when the sun comes up, I fall asleep for a good couple hours. It's enough to realize how beyond tired I am, but I have an appointment. I have an appointment for a tattoo from a guy in Thailand who I discovered from a Canadian guy in India. I can't miss this. So I get up, I go to my car, and I go to his house where I'm warmly welcomed by him and his wife. She brings me a cup of coffee and I chug that shit while Mr. Tongue smokes a cigarette. Then we head up into his studio and begin the worst tattoo experience of my life. Because after this tattoo, I can no longer say that I have never cried during a tattoo. This one had me weeping. 11 hours it took. It's done completely freehand as each line and curve is molded to your body. Mr. Tongue took 2 hours to draw the stencil and then another 9 to tattoo. There's never any plan. His stencil comes from his first impression of you, the aura you give off and the powers he wishes to imbue. Yes, this tattoo has powers, if you choose to believe in that kind of thing. But if not, suspend your disbelief a little and revel in the beauty and history of Thailand's religion and tattoo culture. It's an absolutely beautiful piece. Technically, it's done really well. The lines are bold and strong, but more than that, it's the story that this tattoo comes with. The journey I took, the people I talked to. This tattoo tells a tale. Oh yes, that was excellent. You've got yourself a 2-for-1 in this video and it's been a blast. But you may be wondering to yourself, how could I possibly outdo this? Well, follow me for the next one because I will be going to the Philippines for another crazy tattoo story. This one required a lot of luck, a lot of improvisation, and of course, no planning. But fate brought it to me, so I had to do it. So stay tuned for the next video where I get tattooed by the oldest tattoo artist in the world. Bitch.